All right. I'm going to look at study one. Study one has some questions. It says, how would you answer the question? What keeps you up at night? So what keeps you up at night, will kind of show where your pain point is and maybe the pain point of the people, right? All right. So one example, what keeps you up also could also talk about your own passion also, right? I teach, and my passion is just around sharing wisdom, sharing understanding. It hurts my heart when I see people have a misunderstanding of a concept, a truth, a word from God, and when people work in the dark, kind of gets me worked up. So maybe that's why I'm a teacher. That's why my life is all focused on trying to shed light on things, bring things down to a place where the simplest person can understand. Right. I'm going to leave the other questions. You all have it, so you can always go through it. I'm just going to open the floor to anything you want to share in this direction, or a question, a comment, anything at all that you could just bless us all with. All right, working. Toba, do you have anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, not really, but what I can just say is about audience analysis. Sometimes, like in speaking, maybe in public speaking, maybe you are invited. Like those of us that speak, for instance, probably you are going outside your familiar terrain, maybe an invitation. Sometimes, I don't know. Well, I wouldn't say it's a question, but it's a form of a question, analyzing your audience right and getting to understand specifically the kind of people you are addressing in such a situation. Or like the familiar terrain you have been with, their challenges at counseling times, you've interacted with them, you know that, okay, 70% of these people are students, so maybe majority of them are about graduating or they've graduated, looking for a job as young professionals just starting up. But in a situation whereby you come and you don't know so much except the few information you have gathered from your invite, the person that invited you. So I wouldn't know. Though I came in late today, I wouldn't know how
No problem.
some of those issues could have been properly and perfectly addressed when you're addressing an audience that are not your regular audience.
Regular
Maybe you
audience.
understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying perfectly. That's one of the things you said is you ask questions, just ask direct questions. Like someone is inviting you, you can just ask the person, so what's the pain point of these people? What do you think will bless these people more? What are the things who are struggling with? Where are they right now? Where do you think they should be? What's your vision for the congregation?
Okay.
You can ask the person inviting you, ask that direct question. I know in part-time pastor, a lot of us try to be spiritual. Oh, the Holy Spirit will tell me. Oh, whatever the Holy Spirit tells you, yeah. Why do you want to trouble the Holy Spirit when you can ask, right? But irrespective of what you get from any source, you still have to pass through, right? The correction, the baptism, the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. That's a given, especially when it comes to church, right? But you can get that ball rolling and easier for you to hear from the Holy Spirit by gathering what you can gather, then leave what you can gather to God. You understand? Because God does not want to do for you what you can do yourself. Why should he? That's like abusing God. Shake it. If you can get, if it's something you can ask and they'll tell you, why is it that you want to go and fast and pray for it? That's a waste of energy, right? But irrespective of where you get your source from, whether it's revelation, whether it's by asking, all of that, you still have to pray over it. right? You still have to take it and say, God, this is what I want to do. And you're asking God, God, what is your mind concerning it? Right? That one is a giving, right? So, but to sourcing it, you don't have to wait for God, right, to do that if there is a human agency that can give it to you. Where there's no human agency that can give it to you, then you can trust God all the way, that God, whatever you give me, shake it. But where there's a human agency or there are avenues to get it, that gets you started. You know, there are times you even hear you get it started, but the Holy Spirit says, no, that's not what I want you to talk about. Shake it. Yeah. Then you know that this is clear direction. You know? Yeah. So there might be instances where the Holy Spirit say, you respect that that's their pain point, but that's not what I want to talk about. It gives you something else. But that doesn't happen all the time. You know? Did I answer your question well?
Yes. Yeah. Very well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. No problem. This chapter we're just talking about when you're communicating, you're told to speak to an audience, that the best way to have impact upon the audience is to know what their pain point is, so you know what you are addressing. You know, I kind of compared it to marketing. In marketing, you are trying to meet a need, right? Marketing is a win-win or no deal situation. Marketing is different from selling. Selling is a win-lose, right? So selling is, I have a product, I want to convince them to buy my product. Whether they like it or not, or whether they need it or not, is a different thing. You're trying to make them buy the product you have. Marketing, you are trying to give them something that will meet a need that they have, right? That's why Apple is a $3 trillion company. At least they entered it briefly and came out. But they are that valuable because they market, not sell, right? So in communication, you need to market. That's what God is. You know, God says, come and let us reason together. He didn't say, you take what I have to say. So when you say, come and let us reason together, that's marketing, right? So it's knowing what the people need and tailoring your message to meet that need. However, in tailoring your message to meet that need, you have to be careful. You must not go against the values that you stand for. Again, that's why we say it's a win-win or no deal. If whatever is the need they have goes against who you are and what you represent and your values, that is not a place to speak. Right? You cannot go to a gay movement and start encouraging them to be gay. Right? Because that goes against your belief system, who you are as a person. Right? So that might not be a speaking engagement that you should accept, because there will be no agreement on the inside of you. You'll be speaking just to the gallery. So even though you are marketing, trying to meet a need, it still has to be within your belief system, within your value system. Did I make any point there?
Yes.